Bud Olsen is our first recipient here tonight. 6'8" center with remarkable outside shooting. A great shooter, everybody will tell you that. Played in the same class as Jerry Lucas. Bill Hoskett told me he watched him play games and he had just this great shooting stroke that he tried to emulate. There were no TV games back then, so you watched guys on the playground. You watched them in the gyms. Fantastic stuff. He attended Belmont High School, same high school as Bill Hoskett. Those two guys, I tell you what, they'll join who is it? Haas and Don May. I'm going back now to see which guys. Sam Licklider. I think there's 4 guys from the same high school. I don't think another high school can match that. 4 guys in the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame. That is great stuff. All-City honoree in 1957 and 58 was Bud Olsen. All-Ohio in 1958. Scored a City League record 43 points against Germantown in his junior year. Averaged more than 23 points as a senior before enrolling at the University of Louisville. I don't know how those guys couldn't get him to come to Ohio State. He was a 3-year letterman at Louisville. He scored 1,192 points, grabbed 761 rebounds during his college career. In the 61-62 season, he averaged 21 points as the Cardinals reached the NCAA regional semifinals, where they lost a 1-point decision to national runner-up Ohio State. He was the team's captain and most valuable player. Olsen was selected by the Cincinnati Royals of the National Basketball Association, played for 6 teams in 7 seasons of pro ball. Played with Wayne Embry. When you talk about the Royals now, Kansas City Royals, who were brought into, guys who played for that team and were brought into the Hall of Fame, Oscar Robinson, Jerry Lucas, Wayne Embry, guys like that with the Royals. He's the 6th member of the Royals basketball team to come into the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame. So great stuff there. Inducted into the Louisville Hall of Fame, his number 13 has been retired. And tonight we send him into the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame with a rousing applause. Bud Olsen, welcome.
I really didn't want to follow Jerry because Jerry is he's a great speaker, and I had the pleasure of rooming with him for 2 or 3 years, and I used to hear about his memory games, and he did the alphabet, state capitals, and I'll never forget, what's the capital of Arkansas? Little Rock. And he says, here's how you remember that. You picture Little Rock, and that's the capital of Arkansas. What's the capital of Kentucky? Frankfurt. You think of a hot dog. And that's the way his mind worked. And I used to lay in bed, and I'd say, I wonder what he's thinking now. It's very good to see Jerry. It's good to see Bucky. I would like to thank the Ohio State Basketball Hall of Fame for my participating tonight. And I can speak with some seriousness because I grew up in Indiana, too. And I also spent time in Kentucky. But the state of Ohio has the best basketball players of anywhere. And I can say that with conviction. So I know I'm on the clock, and she's sitting right there. But I've got to introduce my family that made the extra effort to get here. My sisters, Mary Ann, Debbie, their family. My brother Bill, who was the athletic director at the University of Louisville for 18 years, and he had a good one for Jerry. He went up to Jerry and he said, I'm Bill Olsen. And Jerry told Bill, he said, I remember you. And Bill says, you got a good memory. I remember the Morgans. I'd like to thank them for coming. Mike Pratt and his wife Marcia and Greg Schutte made the trip up from Louisville. And last but not least, I want to thank my wife, who's 7 years into lung cancer. She's supposed to be a statistic, and she's proven that you can beat it if you believe. And so thank you, Betty, for being here. And thank you for this great honor. I'll cherish it forever.